Good morning, everyone. Pyramid Intell. Sometimes I film in my car without moving, but the reason why I like to drive, I'm actually starting to move now to make this video, is because when I have to drive and switch gears and maneuver through traffic and also talk to you at the same time, it helps to remove any energetic blockages. I don't have time for my ego to get in the way and think about what I look like or what I'm saying, or to inject something that isn't, purity information coming in as truthful as possible. That's why I do it. Okay. And what I'm going to say right now is really important, so I'm going to drive while I do this. First of all, I want to thank all my subscribers. Anyone who bothers to subscribe in this world full of junk and everything hitting your box and overload and everything, that you take the time to look at my videos and or subscribe, that's such a gift, and I don't thank you enough, so thank you for that. Now, I talk a lot about the energetics and what it feels like physically and how it's going to affect you and affect the people around you, but I haven't really talked about light code activations, what that means in any real way, and I think this is really important, so this is what I'm going to talk about. This Pyramid Intel is going to be titled Shapeshifters, because as you integrate all this new information in, and you hear people maybe talk about having new abilities. I mean, what's the point of having DNA activations and new things happening in your brain? How's it going to play out? What's it going to look like besides the physical effects and having to deal with all that? Well, that's when we can get into the topic of shapeshifters. Now, if you have read the Celestine Prophecy, you have an idea about what's possible when your perceptions shift. And if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It's a great book, really great book, quick and easy read. And I guess what I want to say is the most important thing is when you begin to perceive things differently, that you not freak out. And that's why I'm making the video, so that you will be prepared for it. Now, I don't know exactly what it's going to look like for you, because everyone's perceptions are different. It depends on so many things. But just know that this is a possibility. Be prepared for it. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not losing your mind. You're not imagining it. And try not to freak out. And be supportive of other people if they are having things, perceptions and everything that are different, and just listen and maybe bring them some comfort. Because if we don't support each other, if we don't have any information or knowledge about what's actually happening to our brains and what these perceptions are, it can get really scary. Now, if you believe in the powers that be trying to do any sort of manipulations on your thought processes and your light code activations, you can imagine that they are going to try to hijack this entire process for their benefit and put a lot of fear into people, right? Because that's the name of the game. So that's why it's so important that you not become afraid and just realize what this is. If you're expecting changes in perception, then there's nothing to fear. If you know that holographically, energetically, there can be images and ideas and perceptions that are being implanted for you that aren't actually real too, if you're aware of this technology, that's going to also be helpful. Okay, well, that's great. There's all kinds of shit popping off. How am I supposed to know the difference between what's real and what's not real? Which brings us back to the chakra activation. Getting in touch with your gut instinct, your intuition, which everybody has. That's the only way you're going to be able to tell the difference. If someone walks into a room and you've never seen them before and you love them for no reason at all. It's that love at first sight thing. What is that? It's some kind of an intuition on their energy or something about them, right? You have no reason to feel that way. Why do you feel that way? Because your gut is picking up on something. Same thing with you meet someone and they're nice as can be, and you can't stand them. They make you want to vomit, right? Same thing. You're picking up on energy. So that's how you're going to be able to perceive things. That's how you should process everything, whether it's a job decision, a circumstance, a person, anything at all. And as we move forward and the shit show gets crazier and you can't tell the difference, I suggest that you run everything through your chakra system, your intuition, your gut. Like anything, if you practice it every day, it's going to get really, really sharp. It's already there. And I've talked about this before, and this is so true. And I don't think there's one person listening to this that can disagree with this. If you look back on any, let's say the epic shit shows, because those are the ones that get burned into our brain the most, because we're like, what the, right? It gets burned in your memory. You always knew, you always had that morning crystal effing clear about what was going on. You chose to ignore it for whatever reason. You You chose to ignore it. It was your choice. It's not that you didn't know. No one put anything over on you. You were not blindsided. Those signs were always there, and they're usually there repeatedly. It usually doesn't just hit you once. It hits you over and over and over. That's what has happened to me. So I take full responsibility for it, and that's awesome. That means you're not a victim. No one can bullshit you. No one can lie to you. No one can shut down your human lie detector, your intuition, other than you. That's the message of the day. You have the power. That's the big secret, okay? Power to the people. Love you. Bye.